The AFC North is wide open now. We'll talk about where the Ravens stand and why I still see them winning this division. We'll also talk about some trade rumors floating out there for the Ravens ahead of the November 4th trade deadline. All that and more in today's episode of the Flock Rundown.
Ravens Flock. The Flock Rundown is the place to be.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Before we get into today's video, just want to let you guys know that I just dropped an album today. I know some of you guys know that I make music. The intro song that is on this channel is on this album. It's track number 3 called I Left the Party. But if you want to check out some music, man, Rye August, Towson Drive, out now. Appreciate you guys. But let's jump into today's video. So we got some great news last night. Joe Flacco in his debut with the Bengals won a shootout versus Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, which really muddies up the AFC North now. The Steelers are still in first at 4-2. The Bengals are right behind them now at 3-4. And then the Ravens and Browns are still 1-5. But the Ravens are 3 games out of first place with 11 games left. When you look at this Steelers schedule, who currently sits atop of the AFC North, they still have to play the Packers, the Colts, the Chargers the next 3 weeks. None of those are easy games. They got to play the Bengals again. They got to play the Bills. They got to play the Ravens twice and the Lions. And it feels like the Steelers at the end of almost every season have some kind of collapse. You know, they start out the season hot, and then as the season goes on towards the end of the season, they lose a bunch of games in a row. They either barely make or barely miss the playoffs. And I just really don't see it playing out any different. I think their schedule gets pretty brutal for the rest of the way. And I don't see how anybody in the AFC North has a really good record by the end of the season. I think the winner of this division is 10-7 or 11-6. And that's a perfect spot for the Ravens to be in after their tough start. We're obviously 1-5. It sounds crazy to sit here and be like, oh, we're going to win the AFC North. But I'm looking at our schedule for the rest of the way. I'm looking at the other division opponent's schedule, especially the Steelers, who are at the top of the division, and we still have to play pretty much the entire division outside of the Browns. We played them once. We already won, but the Ravens are probably going to have to run through the division, but I still think all the opportunity is right there in front of us. You know, we're getting healthy. We have a way easier schedule. The Steelers have a way harder schedule, and we're only 3 games back with 11 games left. That's a ton of football still to be played. And there's barely any defense being played in the AFC North outside of Cleveland. Cleveland's definitely got the best defense in the AFC North. It's just weird to see the Ravens and Steelers defenses letting up a ton of points. You know, it's not historically what you would think of when you think of these two teams. And maybe when they play each other, it's not like that. I'm not sure. But regardless, not a lot of good defense being played in the AFC North right now. But if the Ravens run through this division, which is entirely possible, they have the best team. They just got to go out there and play like it. And if they run through this division, the AFC North's theirs, man. And then this start is for nothing. Now, do I have a lot of confidence rolling into the playoffs right now with what we've seen? Hell no. I'm not naive. I'm not saying that I trust that we're going to go on a Super Bowl run. But let's just build some momentum first here. And I think it's exciting because there is a true opportunity within the division. There's nobody that's going to run through the AFC North this year. The division is wide open. I still believe the Ravens are the best team. Let's go take it. Week 7 of the season is here. It's a new week with new opportunities. And this season, I've teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook to bring you guys an incredible offer. New customers bet $5, get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins, plus 3 months of NBA League Pass. You heard that right. New customers turn $5 into $300 if your bet wins, paid instantly in bonus bets. The crown is yours. Stay in on the action and use your bonus bets on DraftKings same game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. And make sure when you're signing up to use my promo code TFR. Now, I still think the Ravens need to make some more moves. The NFL trade deadline is November 4th, and the Ravens haven't made a move yet. We're almost, a week into the bye week here, and still haven't made a move. I'm waiting every day for a move to happen. This week's been very slow, and I think the Ravens have to make a move, man. We got to add somebody on the D-line or to the outside linebacker room or a veteran guard, or all 3. I'm open for anything, but November 4th's coming fast. I still think the Ravens will definitely make a move. I just hope it happens soon, man. I think that, getting a guy in here as early as possible, especially during this bye week, is the perfect opportunity, but we haven't made a move yet. And sometimes it takes right up until the trade deadlines for other teams to actually be willing to part with guys. So maybe we don't see a move this week or next week, and maybe it's right before November 4th. We're going to have to play a game before that, but regardless, I still think that a move is coming. I would be shocked if the Ravens don't make a move. If the Ravens just stay pat and the NFL trade deadline passes or they sign a guy off the street or something, I don't think they truly believe that they're going on a Super Bowl run this year. I think that they need to make an aggressive move. Eric DeCosta, get on the phones, trade some draft picks. And I've been seeing a lot of trade rumors out there that the Ravens are willing to part with Mark Andrews. I think that's obvious. I mean, they shopped him around in the offseason, but I don't think that they're going to just give him away. And what I've been seeing with some of this speculated return is for a 5th or 6th round pick. The Ravens aren't taking that. And if they do, I think that's a terrible trade. I'd rather have Mark on this team for the rest of the season than get another 5th round pick. Let's trade some of these 5th round picks. Let's trade some of these other mid-round draft picks and go make another move rather than just unload Mark for another 5th or 6th. We're not getting game changers in the 5th or 6th round. We already have a ton of 5th round picks. I'm not willing to part with any guys for late round picks. I just don't think it's smart. I also saw that Fowler was speculating that Keaton Mitchell could be on the move just because he's the odd man out in the Ravens backfield. Once again, I don't think that's a great move. You're not going to get a high return for Keaton Mitchell. He's barely playing right now. Like, what's his trade value? A 4th at the highest, a 5th, a 6th probably. It's just not worth it. I'd rather have Keaton Mitchell on the roster. I'd rather potentially have Keaton Mitchell here for a few more years to come instead of just shipping him out for another late round draft pick. So I'm not really into trading any of our guys. Now, if it's for a big star, a game-wrecking edge, somebody that's going to completely transform this defensive line, then I guess I'm willing to part with a role player or somebody, but I just don't think that we need to acquire more late round picks or even mid-round picks, man. So I'd rather just keep Mark Andrews, keep Keaton Mitchell, and start trading some of these draft picks. The Ravens need to win now. The window is not going to be super, super long. I mean, I think we have an extended window because of Lamar, but even that, we're talking 5 years from now. Who knows how long that lasts? Who knows how long the health lasts? Like, the window might not be super long. You can't just keep drafting 11 guys and waiting years for them to develop. I think that you have to try and win now. So I think we need to part with some draft picks and go make some aggressive moves rather than trade some of our guys. I don't know if they do this, but I love the idea of plucking some veterans off the Tennessee Titans like Jeffrey Simmons and Kevin Zeitler. I think that would fill 2 needs in one trade. I know that's kind of playing Madden a little bit. I saw the Titans aren't really willing to part with Jeffrey Simmons. I'm not sure why, but I think that that would be like a perfect trade. The Ravens replace Matabike and get a veteran guard who has played here before, who we know is solid and is a huge upgrade over Fa'alele. So that move would excite me. I like I said, I know we're kind of playing Madden with this. It seems like it's probably a little far-fetched. I don't know what we'd even have to give up, but that's an exciting move. There's just no way the Ravens don't make a move, right? I mean, we lost Matabike for the season. We traded away Adafe Owe. Tavius Robinson's hurt. We need an outside linebacker, a defensive lineman for sure. I mean, we're just super thin there unless they really just want to go with the young guys, but I don't think that's going to even remotely give you a chance to go on a long playoff run, a Super Bowl run. I mean, you can't just rely on a bunch of rookies. You got to go make a move for a veteran, proven player that is going to help get some pressure on the quarterback. And I'm waiting every day for the notification. I mean, we got some positive news with that game last night, but it's been a struggle. We've been losing for a month straight. Now we have a bye week. It's a terrible way to go into the bye. It just kind of extends the misery a little bit. Like I forgot what it feels like to even get a Ravens win right now. But I know the turnaround's coming, man, and I just can't wait to watch some good Ravens football. Can't wait for the Ravens to be putting out the Ravens Wired episodes again and stuff. They don't even show you anything when we're losing, man. I'd even watch it at this point, even though we're losing. I'd like to see a little bit of the sideline camaraderie and kind of what's going on, but maybe it's not great and they just don't want to put anything out. I'm not sure. They only put positive things out, which I get. You want to like control the narrative and make sure everything seems good publicly, but we obviously know it's probably not all good. They're 1-5, but I just miss Ravens Wired and just celebrating wins, man, you know, getting excited to go watch the highlights over again and throw the tape on with excitement and rewatch the game because we know you won, so you're like comfortable and you can just analyze what's going on in the game and you're not just miserable because you know that they lost again. I can't wait for those days, man. That turnaround is right around the corner, and we get a lot of football in a short amount of time as soon as we get back because we play that Sunday against the Bears, and then we have a quick turnaround. 4 days later, we play the Dolphins on Thursday night. So we're getting 2 quick games in 5 days right out of the bye. So the Ravens, if they can just go 2-0, they better go 2-0 against those teams. They just go 2-0, get that ball rolling, man. I think that momentum keeps going, and the Ravens playing with confidence are a dangerous team. But that's it for today, guys. Not a ton going on, but just wanted to come on here and kind of talk about where the division stands after last night's crazy game. I think it is wide open. And as long as the Ravens get back on track, man, they got as good a chance as anybody, probably better of a chance to win this division than anybody else in the division. So can't wait, man. Let me know what you guys are thinking about everything. Appreciate you guys, as always, for tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And I'll let the greatest linebacker in the history of the game take us out.
Ravens Flock. The Flock Rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the Flock Rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.